essential to student achievement and graduation. Whereas taking attendance daily is essential to identifying when students begin to miss too much school. Whereas taking a positive problem-solving approach to reducing absenteeism requires expanding attendance data to include reviewing chronic absence, availability of working contact information for families, access to technology, and positive relationships. Whereas promoting attendance requires noticing as soon as possible when students are starting to miss too much school in order to engage students and families, identify and offer needed support, and early intervention resources. Whereas research conducted indicates that monitoring when students miss 10% of learning opportunities in a month or multiple days in a week can help to identify students and families as well as schools in need of outreach and additional support. Whereas improving attendance and reducing absenteeism takes schools, families, and community partners working together to identify and address barriers contributing to students missing school. Whereas partnering with students and families to monitor attendance as well as understand and address barriers to attendance requires building and sustaining caring relationships and regular communications with families. Whereas reducing absenteeism requires taking a public health approach that begins with prevention and early intervention and adopting trauma-informed approaches rather than responding with punitive action. Whereas the impact of absenteeism expands the achievement gap that separates students if they face systemic barriers to showing up. Whereas SBPS should diligently track, calculate, and share the data on how many students are missing school, lack working contact information, or are challenged by connectivity so that we can evaluate whether learning opportunities are accessible for all students and assess whether attendance supports are making a difference. Now therefore be it resolved that Scottsbluff Public Schools, in partnership with the City of Scottsbluff, recognize September as Attendance Awareness Month. We hereby commit to focusing on absenteeism and addressing the factors that cause students to miss school in order to ensure all children an equitable opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive academically, emotionally, and socially. Jamie? I asked Jamie Batterman to come. She's with the Scottsbluff Schools. If you want to come up and give us some information on.
I just want to thank you for collaborating with us and for this, the support that we have from the City of Scottsbluff as we launch our Everyday Matters campaign. We are really focusing on reducing our absenteeism and addressing those barriers that prohibit students from coming to school. Those could be transportation issues, those could be poverty, inadequate housing, lack of access to appropriate health care. And so we're really trying to dive down deeply into the root causes of absenteeism and address those things proactively and positively rather than reactively and punitively.
Anybody have questions, comments?
So this, like I said, this is kind of launching it, and you'll be seeing more information through social media and other avenues as we work to engage our stakeholders within the community to help support this initiative. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for including us.